Zaarin's coup, for those who don't know and didn't watch my 6-part series covering it, was Grand Admiral Demetrius Zaarin's attempt to kill Palpatine and take control over the Empire shortly before the Battle of Endor. Of course, he was unsuccessful in his initial plot, and his coup became a full-on insurrection against the Empire, with his vastly outnumbered, yet technologically superior forces which plagued Palpatine, Vader, and Thrawn until Zaarin's eventual death during the Emperor's Will campaign, and it would cause the Empire to no longer use advanced starfighters. But what if Zaarin's coup was successful? Changes to make would of course be if his forces successfully killed Palpatine when the insurrection first began. You see, during the Battle of the Imperial Center, Zaarin's forces caught Palpatine completely off guard, and his forces boarded Palpatine's private ship, the ISD Majestic, and had it not been for the timely arrival of Darth Vader and the then Vice Admiral Thrawn aboard the Star Destroyer Vanguard, it's quite likely that both the Emperor and Majestic would have fallen into Zaarin's hands. But what if they didn't arrive on time? Let's say Palpatine is killed by Zaarin right then and there, as Thrawn and Vader arrive too late. How will the Empire immediately react? Well, of course, Vader and Thrawn are going to engage Zaarin's forces at the Imperial Center before they flee and reconsolidate their forces following this massive success for the coup forces. Meanwhile, Vader and Thrawn are going to have to inform the Imperial Ruling Council of the Emperor's death. Zaarin's going to immediately move to take over the Empire, but just because he's the one who killed Palpatine doesn't mean that the Empire will just bow down before him. Many of the Imperial Ruling Council will believe that they personally are the rightful successor to Palpatine and have political scheming and infighting behind the scenes. The Empire will also start losing its legitimacy, as various figures from all sides of the political spectrum of the Empire will begin vying for power. Will an Imperial Civil War break out? Well, first Zaarin is going to lead his forces to Coruscant to seize power while Vader and Thrawn engage the rogue Grand Admiral. Meanwhile, many Imperials are opportunists and start defecting to Zaarin's forces, seeing potential for more power if Zaarin defeats the existing Imperial government. Imperial loyalists, on the other hand, would likely be supporting Vader out of fear and Thrawn out of respect for his command. There will of course also be warlord breakaway groups who see no reason to join Zaarin's coup or support the existing Empire without Palpatine. Those who remain part of the Empire do so because they believe that Zaarin has no chance of winning, and like I said, fear mass retribution if they turn on Vader, and that fear is going to be very real to many Imperials. However, a significant portion of Imperials will still carve out their own territories to rule for themselves as Zaarin and Vader engage in battle over Coruscant. At the same time, the rebellion sees all of this as a massive win. You see, Palpatine has died before the Battle of Endor, and additionally the Empire is in a semi-civil war state, which of course will lead to more popular unrest as the Imperial forces will have to be diverted to fight Zaarin or abandon plans to consolidate and fortify a warlord kingdom for either Vader's revenge or Zaarin should he end up actually seizing power in the Battle of Coruscant. Needless to say, the state of the galaxy is going to be really chaotic. Imagine the first 2 years of the post-Endor period in the expanded universe happening, but without the Battle of Endor even taking place, and with Vader still alive with the Empire. The second Death Star is also still around, assuming the Rebels don't even launch the attack on Endor, and Darth Vader may actually kill the potential successors to Palpatine in the ruling council, and lead the Empire for himself against Zaarin. But Vader is not as good at political maneuvering as Palpatine was, and there will be more breakaway groups, some of which may join Zaarin. While all of this is going down, the reborn Emperor will be gathering his strength in the deep core as the Dark Empire prepares to make its onslaught onto the galaxy years into the future. However, Palpatine feels even stronger about hating the former Galactic Empire, as it had failed to protect him, not from the Rebel Alliance, but from a traitor to his own empire, and one of his circle of 12 Grand Admirals at that. So he would want to escalate the Imperial mutiny and punish the former Empire when he returns. I personally feel like Zaarin may actually defeat what's left of the Empire, as he was a strategic genius who could even rival Thrawn in various engagements during the Zaarin insurrection. His advanced fighters and experimental weaponry were also second to none in the conventional Imperial arsenal. Even during the insurrection, Vader and Thrawn had a difficult enough time defeating the rogue Grand Admiral. Imagine what it would be like if Zaarin had a larger force. Regardless of how long Zaarin lasts as Emperor and how things go between the Rebel Alliance and Imperial warlords, Operation Shadowhand is still going to happen in 10 ABY. but various aspects haven't happened, such as the Thrawn campaign a year prior, and Palpatine won't be as keen in recruiting warlords to launch the pre-Shadowhand campaign, which results in a slightly weaker Dark Empire, but the New Republic may also be a lot weaker without the Thrawn campaign if the Empire had gotten more use out of the second Death Star. Additionally, without Thrawn being promoted to the rank of Grand Admiral, he isn't going to set up the Empire of the Hand in the unknown regions, and also won't have all those sweet Imperial resources going to the Empire of the Hand to defeat many threats in the unknown regions and keeping them at bay. So the Hand won't be a buffer of protection for the galaxy, which will be quite painful when the Yuzhang Vong invade in 25 ABY, where the state of the galaxy will be very unknown. Maybe Zaarin is somehow the galactic hegemon, maybe the Dark Empire won, perhaps it's a warlord state, maybe the New Republic prevails, or things are still at war between the many factions. All that's just my opinion though. What do you think would have happened had Zaarin's coup been successful? Write in the comments and thank you for watching.